now.
Well, I'm so glad that we can do this again. Why don't you introduce yourself and share what you do and how you came to do what you do?
All right, I'll do that. My name is Janie York. I'm the owner of Here Now Mobile Hearing Solutions. And what we do primarily is provide on-site hearing care for elders living in assisted living and long-term care facilities. I also do see people in their home. I see people through hospice, through home health, but primarily individuals living in facilities.
And how did you?
The way I got started is a little bit fighter at Village for 4 years. And I noticed that a number of my residents owned hearing aids, but that's where it ended. They didn't use them, they hated them, they used all kinds of bad language about their aids. So I decided just to go out informally and just see what was up. Why are you not using your hearing aids?
Right.
Most of them were very clogged with debris, so they wouldn't work. They had dead batteries. People did not remember how to use them. So within 2 weeks of that initial assessment, I was known as the hearing aid lady, and I was going around every 2 weeks with my cart of stuff to take care of hearing aids. I did that for 4 years there.
Wow.
And then I went to Good Samaritan in Millard as quality assurance coordinator, started the program right away with the exact same results. People were elated to have somebody take care of their hearing aids. So I decided this really was a need in the community, and I am now a hearing instrument specialist licensed in Nebraska and Iowa, and my business was 3 years old on August 1st.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, I know that one of the things that we had talked about, because my series is called Conversations with Caregivers. So this is more of a conversation for caregivers. And I'm just wanting to hear your feedback on why caregivers, if they're caregiving for someone at home, what is important for them to be paying attention to that may indicate that their loved one is struggling with hearing?
So first of all, if their loved one does not wear a hearing aid and they don't seem to be hearing or understanding what they're saying, a couple things can be going on. They might have an undetected hearing loss. They might have a buildup of wax in their ears that is preventing the sound from getting to their eardrum. And there also could be cognitive deficits that create kind of a delay. So sometimes, even with a person with normal hearing, if they have cognitive delays, you ask them a question and then just wait.
Okay.
Process that. So many times we get in a hurry and we want an answer right now.
Right.
Wheaties or cornflakes for breakfast. And we want them to tell us right now.
Right.
Well, a minute. But if you think that they may be having some hearing issues, you can always call me. I can come out and see you in your home with COVID precautions, of course. And we can check those ears, get the wax out if that is the problem. We can do a hearing test, and we can do hearing aids. I can do private pay, all 3 Medicaids. So hopefully we could get somebody into a pair of even basic hearing aids that would help. If your loved one wears hearing aids, you want to take a good look at that hearing aid. I'll make myself deaf for a moment here, if you can. So your hearing aid has got openings here at the end. You want to look at that.
Okay.
If all you see is yellow and brown and you can't see all the way through, that hearing aid is plugged up. So I would love to have you contact me, and we can either get together and I can show you how to clean it. You can bring it to me. I can clean it for you. But a plugged up hearing aid just simply does not work. And of course, make sure that you have the right size battery and that it is a good battery in that hearing aid.
So my instinct would be, if I saw that it was plugged up, is to like take a toothpick and try and clean it out myself. Is that a bad idea?
Well, I wouldn't recommend a regular toothpick. If you don't have anything else and you need to get it out, the best thing to do is just get yourself an old dry toothbrush. Turn the hearing aids so the openings are facing down, and
Okay.
just brush Jeezies out of that hearing aid. That's going to knock probably enough of it out that you can get some sound, and then call me and I'll help you.
Okay. Because I think some of
Because you don't want to sharp things. Yeah, you don't want to stick sharp things in there. Now,
Okay.
I have a number of different tools that I use, but I also have been trained on how to use those tools. And I've experimented with what works. I have a tiny crochet hook that is beautiful for cleaning out hearing aids. But unless you know exactly what you're doing, you might not want to stick something down inside the hearing aid if you don't know where you're going with it.
Well, because you don't want to damage the hearing aid. They're really expensive.
Right. They're very expensive, and you know, there are so many different kinds. I can service most kinds of hearing aids. I have accounts with all of the major manufacturers. The only ones that I can't do a lot with are Beltone and Miracle Ear, because those are proprietary. I can't even get the wax guard filters for them, but I can clean those out. So I can usually get one of those hearing aids working. And if we clean it and we find out it's still not working, we can look into, do you still have a warranty on that hearing aid? If not, it still may be worth it to get it repaired, because it comes back with a 1-year warranty after a repair. And a repair is going to run, $275, $300, but that's still a lot cheaper than a new hearing aid.
Sure. So you mentioned that some of the things that would indicate, I think it was some of the things that would indicate that maybe someone would have a hearing loss would potentially be the cognitive impairment, or maybe the caregiver just needs to slow down.
Slow down, get that person's attention before you start talking to them. I don't think I have too many cognitive impairments, but if you just walk in the room and start talking, I may not catch what you're saying because I don't have my attention turned to you. If you're hard of hearing, you need to make sure that you have the attention of that person. Or if you're talking to a hard of hearing person, get their attention and then face them like you and I are facing. And then speak to them. And you might need to shorten your sentences a little bit. You know, ask one thing at a time and make sure there's not a lot of background noise. If you've got a radio going and a TV going and you're trying to talk to them, it's just simply not going to work.
Right.
It's not going to work. So those are the main things that you need to look at. And of course, now, so often we're talking through a mask.
Yes.
Causes even more problems. A medical mask or a cloth mask, you can lose up to about 4 decibels of volume.
Wow.
With an N95, it's 12 decibels.
Wow.
So to put that in perspective, when I'm adjusting a person's hearing aid, like when I'm working with a brand new hearing aid, I can often raise the gain by only 2 decibels and they see a real difference. So if we're cutting anywhere between 3 and 12 decibels of volume, that makes a huge difference. I struggle every day when I'm out and about hearing people through a mask because I'm severely hard of hearing.
So really, enunciation of your words is very important too.
That's very important. And try to be especially careful with soft sounds, S's and CH, T's, D's. Those kinds of letters get mixed up all the time. And people get really embarrassed if they answer a question completely off of what was asked. I know
Sure.
I've done it a million times myself. So, you know, something that does help with the masks is wearing a clear panel mask or a full face clear mask. That makes lip reading possible. And whether people know it or not, they do lip read when they're hard of hearing.
Sure.
So that makes a big difference.
And those are available for purchase on your website, correct?
Yes, they are. Yes,
So
they are.
how would people get a hold of you if they're in state or in the Omaha area, and if they're out of state and they're taking care of someone at home and maybe they just have additional questions?
They can call me at 402 880-3938. You could also text at that number. My daughter calls my phone a rock because I don't answer it very often. Or you can go to my website, herenowsolutions.com. My email is Janie@herenowsolutions.com, and I will send all that to you.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you for your time. I think this will be really helpful. I'm in a couple caregiver support groups online, and just some of the reoccurring themes is, people are having to repeat themselves a lot, or their family member is saying, what? So I think just having a resource and some basic information on, making sure you have their attention, being in front of them, slowing down a little
Right.
bit, and then ways to really see if the hearing aid. Pardon?
Yeah. And I'm happy to help anybody, in state, out of state. I've had hearing aids sent from a variety of different places to clean and send back. So I'm happy to help anyone that needs help.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Janie. I think I love your work and just really appreciate you and all you do for the residents that are lucky enough to get to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you having me on tonight.
Absolutely. Well, we will talk to you later.
All righty. Thank you.
All right. Bye, Janie.